Hello there, Chelsea fans. Welcome to the breakdown. So let's go straight into it. So today, we're talking about the Chelsea vs Arsenal game that was played on Sunday. I know immediately after the game, I did a review of the game, but today I want to give a more, what I say, detailed breakdown. Now, um, the way the game started well. Cole Palmer had the early chance, and Raya, to his credit, made a very good save. So no worries there. And in general, both teams sort of cancel themselves out, but certain players have to be called out a bit. And Enzo Maresca himself has to be called out because he's doing well. He's been fantastic ever since he became Chelsea's coach, but he's not infallible. He's not perfect, because some people don't like, criticizing a manager they like or criticizing a player they like, but when it's a player they don't like or they don't rate, then immediately they criticize the player, they'll criticize the manager, the head coach. So for me, Cole Palmer in this game was a bit off his game. Was a bit off his game because there are moments in the game when the right touch, the right control, the right decision, to pass the ball, would have, or rather, the right pass selection would have meant Chelsea would have been in on goal or Chelsea would have scored a goal. And now, so the first one was, at least the first one that comes to my mind, was Chelsea on the counter attack. Nicholas Jackson was already, had already made the runs between the two Arsenal centre backs. And if Cole Palmer had passed the ball, it would have just been him versus goalkeeper because he's too quick and there's no way the Arsenal defenders would have been able to catch up with him. But Cole Palmer decided to pass the ball out wide. So that killed the whole momentum of that one. And then you had other opportunities that came his way, a pass laid off to him that he should have just uh, easily controlled and had a shot at goal. He his touch was poor, poor by his own very very high standards. So for me, um, he needs to, let's say, improve his game. If that's if that's something to say about Cole Palmer, because he still is the best player at Chelsea. He still is the most important player at Chelsea. But for me, still, ah, those were moments in the game that if he had made the right decision, probably would have been talking about maybe a 2-1 win. Or who knows, if Chelsea gets the first goal, Arsenal, would have felt the need to, push up even higher. And maybe would have been, I mean, Arsenal would have been on the end of a hammering from Chelsea. But there you have it. So, and I know some people say, "Oh, Cole Palmer, how dare you criticize Cole Palmer?" Well, he's human, so that means, like I said, he's not perfect, he's not infallible, he can be criticized, and criticizing a player, criticizing a coach doesn't mean you don't rate them, but you feel they can be even better than they are. So that's my 2 cents about Cole Palmer, and I think the next thing is I think maybe that lies more um, on the table of Enzo Maresca in terms of sometimes he was going a bit too wide for me. I rather prefer Cole Palmer in those central areas, dictating play, getting the ball off getting the ball off Caicedo and Remo Lavia, and leading the attack, or rather coordinating the attack that way. So that's it. That's it for Cole Palmer. Then I'll talk about Colwell, Levi Colwell, Levi Colwell. It was very good. It was very good. It was very good in the game. Himself and Wesley Fofana are building a nice partnership there. So he was very good in the game. But awareness, I'm sure probably as he continues to grow and when he gets older, he'll become even more um, you would have a better appreciation for the game and those little things, those marginal things he has to improve on. And one example was the goal. Everyone now wants to blame Nodi Madueke. Back to what I say: when they like a player, when they rate a player, when they like a manager, when the, you know, the rating manager, no one wants to blame them. No one wants to. They don't want to blame that manager. They don't want to blame that coach. But when they don't rate a player, when they don't like a player, the blame will be smack on that player's head or smack on that head coach's head. And then here again, you're seeing lots of Chelsea fans going on about, oh, Noni Madueke didn't track back. But who played four Arsenal players on side? It was Levi Colwill. He played them on side, and he could see that every Chelsea defender had pushed up. There was a high line intended to keep, Martinelli and the other Arsenal attackers offside, but he caught himself ball watching and played everyone on side, and then Arsenal got a goal. So he has to be criticized for that, in my opinion. Now, once, like I said, criticizing a player doesn't mean, oh, he should be benched, you don't rate him, but you point out game by game who's wrong, who's right, who didn't play well, who played well. That's what the breakdown is all about. And that's what the channel is all about, giving objective criticism, not just going mad, giving mad hot takes. No. So, apart from that, he played very well. Wesley Fofana as well. I think this is the best game I've seen Wesley Fofana play in the Chelsea shirt. So there was one move he made. He got the ball from the defense and pushed right up, to Arsenal's 18-yard box, and then passed the ball on. And then there was impressive play. I think it was Timber. Was it during Timber, the Arsenal player, fullback, made it, was ran from the Arsenal half onto the Chelsea half. But Fofana chased him, from their half into Chelsea's own half, and was able to get the ball out for a throw in. So that was fun. That just, should I say, epitomized, you know, um, his play, Wesley Fofana's play, how excellent and how good he was, in that game. So kudos to him, fair play. He played very well. And then Cucurella, that was the man. He was my man of the match, as well as being the man of the match. I think he was also made the official man of the match as well. He's been very, very good. And that's another thing with people not liking players, want the player out, want them out. Sometimes we have to be patient with these players. Sometimes it's not easy the first season, you join a club to be at your complete best, especially when you're coming from, with all due respect, the club like Brighton, where expectations are far different, or they're far lower than the expectations at a club like Chelsea. So he played very well. He sort of marshaled and controlled one of the most dangerous attacking players in the Premier League, at least, in Bukayo Saka. So he had him on a lock and key. He had him in chains. He had him locked up the whole game. No assist, nothing. He couldn't do anything the entire game. So until, I think he was subbed off, or until the game ended, so Bukayo Saka could do nothing. And Cucurella was also a force in terms of investing into that midfield areas. Like I said, he's the inverted fullback king. And there's this thing Enzo Maresca has been doing, which is, at least he did it in the last two games prior to the Arsenal game, which is rather, playing Rich James at left back. No, we don't need that, because Cucurella is very good. In fact, he is superb right now, bordering on world class at that left back role at inverting. So don't want to see any Rich James there anymore. If Rich James should play, he should play at right back, in my opinion. And then I'll go on to, first off, I'll go on to Robert Sanchez for the goal. Now, two things there. One, he was at fault for the goal, because in football, if you make a gamble, you must ensure that, the gamble doesn't come, to bite you in the back. If you make a gamble, if you take a chance, if you try to trick, the attacker, that it works out for you, that you actually are able to, reap the rewards of your risk. But he gave that opening at his near post, and Martinelli smashed the ball into the near post, and he couldn't save it. So fair dues. But all these bit where people have now come out to say, "Oh, you never get beat at the near post. If you get beat at your far end, at the second post, then you clap your hands and say, put your hands up and say, oh, the attacking player has got a world class goal." But as a goalkeeper, really, you're not thinking about, who to blame or who not to blame. You're thinking about, what can I do to put me in the best position to save this shot, to prevent this shot from becoming a goal. So in that regard, he made his choice, and then he has to live with it, and Chelsea, have to live with it as well, because it resulted in the goal. So, but He's to blame for the goal, but all this talk about he has to do this, has to do that. No, I don't really share it. So he's to blame for the goal, and let's move on. And Cole as well, like I said earlier on, Cole as well, playing everyone on side. He should be blamed, should have some element of culpability as well. And then moving on to moving on to Pedro Neto. He's wonder strike, wonder strike. It was absolutely phenomenal, and was very good that Chelsea scored immediately, because one thing in football is that we've seen, you concede the goal, and if in 10 minutes you've not equalized, especially in games that are fiercely contested, like the Chelsea Arsenal game yesterday, or very close games, it turns out that you end up losing that game or dropping those points. So fair dues, he scored a wonderful goal. Just people that say Martinelli was meant to track him back. Well, that's left for Arsenal, to deal with. But it was a phenomenal goal, very very good goal from him. So kudos to him for that. That's excellent play from Pedro Neto, and I think he was also a threat playing as an orthodox winger. So nice to see that he has that all round game. But I still prefer Noni Madueke in that right wing role, while Pedro Neto in that left wing role, because I think they both play very well. And there's something I want to also say, because it seems in this modern era, players are not allowed to dovetail or to switch flanks. That was something Jose Mourinho used to do when he had Ian Robben and Damien Duff. Both of them were left footed, so they always would switch flanks every now and again during the games, and at least to give their fullback something else to think about. So I'm looking forward to it, to you know Enzo Maresca trying to implement that sort of tactics, sort of style of play, where you have Noni Madueke starting out on the right, and Pedro Neto starting out on the left, and then during the game they can switch positions just to mess with the opposition back line a bit, a bit, and then now my favorite thing I like to talk about, at least it seems to be my favorite thing, and that is the officiating. Now, like I said in the last video, it's like Chelsea, it's like some Chelsea fans, you having them in your team. I don't know about other football fans, other club fans of other clubs, whether you have this sort of people in your club, supporting your club, which is people that rather blame your own players, that rather blame your own team, as opposed to the opposition team when things go wrong, or blame an official that gets things wrong. Rather than blaming them, they blame the player and the media coverage of this as well. Because for starters, good play by Pedro Neto, good crossing. He really walked the defender very well, got the space, put the cross in, and everyone with working eyes can see or could see that Martinelli barged into Malagusto just before he headed the ball. Everyone could see he had his arms around him. But what did we do? We get VAR, no VAR check, zero talk about it in the media coverage, and to make matters worse, to rub salt into injury, or rather to rub something corrosive into injury. You know, everyone was just blaming Malagusto. Oh, he should have scored that. Oh, he headed the ball wide, like he was a free header. No one contested with him. He had no one, trying to pull his neck out of his head, or pull his head from his neck. But it was clear as day. You had all the camera angles showing you this. There was no camera angle that would have made sort of made it feel look like the header was uncontested. It would have been fine if Martinelli contested the header with Gusto, won the header, beautiful. As an opposition player, you're not meant to pull out the red carpet to allow opposition team to score. No, you're meant to defend, right? But if in your bid to defend you actually foul the player, then it should be a penalty if it's in the 18-yard box, as it was this time around. But no one's speaking about it. Referees lip sealed, VAR officials lip sealed. It happened again. Noni Madueke would have had an assist in this game, put the cross in, went for Fana, stretch to get his leg onto it. Gabriel had his arms around him, not even thinking about heading the ball. Once again, nothing said. And now, before I end the video, I have to say this. In a previous video, I had said there's corruption in English football. Someone dropped in the comment section, "Oh, I'm insane." Okay, no worries. If you say I'm insane, let's see how that goes. But now we've seen David Coote, you know, um, a referee. I'm sure you must have seen the video where he said he doesn't like Liverpool, doesn't like Jurgen Klopp, and he called Jurgen Klopp. You know what he called him? I'm not going to say that on here. The video is all over the internet, so you could go see it for yourself. He doesn't like um, and Jurgen Klopp, and some other things he said. And then we also heard about the things that Mike Dean said. That he didn't want to send Anthony Taylor to the monitor because he didn't want to give him grief. Really? He didn't want to give his mate grief. How does that work, work again? So I'm saying English football is corrupt. And until people are able to identify the fact that it is corrupt, then and only then would the problems with English football be solved. You know, because right now you can keep saying, "Oh, it's incompetence. Oh, he didn't see it. He should be doing better there. He should have made the right call. Oh, I can't understand why VAR officials didn't make the decision. Why shouldn't they be able to make the right decision? You have all the technology. You have the cameras from a million angles, and yet you can't make the right decision. Come on now, come on." So there you have it. So I wonder what you think of the game. Let me know in the comment section. Please subscribe to the channel. I'll just point to come to the end of this video. And thanks for watching. Do have a splendid rest of your day. And see you on yet another video. Bye bye.